All right, today we're going to do lesson 2-3, applying powers of 10. Yesterday we started working with powers of 10. Now we're going to apply them to different situations and work on different problems doing that today. Okay, first thing we're going to start off with, we're going to look at Jenna multiplied 72 times 689 and got 490,608. Is Jenna's answer reasonable? Use an estimate to explain how you know. Okay, so we're going to solve this problem by estimating. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we need to look at 72 and determine what can we estimate 72 to. Is it closer to 70? Is it closer to 60? What can we estimate 72? All right, I think 72 should be estimated to 70. I think it's closer to 70, so we're going to estimate it there. Okay, next thing we need to do is we need to look at 689 and determine where we're going to estimate that. Okay, so it would be 70 times 689. Is it closer to 600? Is it closer to 700? The 89 is closer up. We round up from there, so I would say it's closer to 700. So it would be 70 times 700. Okay? Now I'm going to solve for that. Now, taking 70 times 700 straight up is a lot. Okay? But if you remember, if we have any zeros in your problem, we can just take our 7 times our 7, which is 49. And we're going to add 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 70 times 700 is 49,000. Okay, well, when Jenna took 72 times 689, she got 490,608. But when we took 70 times 700, we got 49,000. So, do you think Jenna's answer is reasonable? Or do you think she's way off? Well, I think she's way off. Because if we take all we have to do is add a few more numbers on here, because we rounded up here and we rounded down here, but I think her number is so far off that it's not very reasonable. Okay, because when I took 70 times 700, it's 49,000. If I take 72 times 689, it's not going to be such a big difference where we're all the way up to 490,000. So I'm going to say no. Her answer is not reasonable. Okay? And then it says use an estimate to explain. Well, we explain right here because 70 times 700 is 49,000, and it's nowhere near 490,608. She's actually about 10 times off because 49,000 is about almost 10 times less than 490,000. So her answer would be no. Jenna is about 10 times too big. Okay, so there's my explanation. Jenna is about 10 times too big. 490,608 is 10 times bigger than 49,000. So her answer would be no. Okay, so that is that part of that, where you get two big numbers. We're at 2 times 689. You're going to estimate those. So you'll estimate the 72. You'll estimate the 689. You'll times them, and then you got to determine, is the person that's solving this reasonable, or are they way off? In this case, Jenna, she was way off. She's about 10 times too big what she should have been. Okay? Next part. We're going to look at page 45. Okay? 45 says, use estimation to solve. A hardware store sells ladders that extend up to 12 feet. Okay? This is a big number sentence, so I'm going to underline different numbers or different parts of the sentence that are important that are going to help me solve this. So we need to know that 12 feet. The store's advertising says, largest inventory in the country. If you put all our ladders end to end, you could climb to the top of the Empire State Building. The company has 295 ladders. That's a pretty important number. We need to know that. In stock. The Empire State Building is 1,453 feet tall. We need to know that. Is it true that the ladders would reach the top of the building? Explain how you solve your problem. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to estimate. Okay, so what can we estimate 12 to? So our two numbers that we're going to work with, that we're going to times by each other, is 12 and 295. And then once we do that, we got to see, is it close to 1,453? Or is it bigger? Because we got to need to know if we have enough ladders to climb to the top of that building. Okay, so 12 we can estimate down to 10. That's a good landmark number to use. So we'll take 10, 295. Okay, we can round 295. 295 is really close to 300, so we'll round it to 300. So we'll put 300 times 10. Okay, now when we solve this, let's take our 3 times 1, which is 3, and then we got to add our zeros. 1, 2, 3. So 300 times 10 is 3,000. So is 3,000 bigger than 1,453? Yes, it is. So do they have enough ladder to reach the top of the building? Yes, they do. So we would write yes, okay, because they have enough ladder to reach the top of that building. So and then it says, explain how you solved the problem. Okay, so to find the exact answer, you got to take 12 times 295. Okay, that's how you find the exact answer. But we didn't really need to find the exact answer. Our estimate's going to is going to tell us if they have enough ladder or not. Okay. So our estimate, we took 12 times 295. Let me scroll down real quick so I can see my problem. Okay, so we said it was yes. Okay, now it says explain how you solve the problem. Well, we took 12 and estimated it to 10. Okay, then we took 295 and estimated it to 300. Okay, then what we did is we took our 300 times 10 and we got 3,000. All right, now we use this 3,000 to answer our question because it says, will the ladder stacked up one at a time reach the top of a 1,000, what was it, 1,453 foot tall building? And we said that it was because this ladder will reach 3,000 feet, which is more than enough to reach the top of the 3,000 or 1,400 foot building. So it would reach the top of a 1,000, let me double check again, 453 foot tall building. All right, so that is how you do that. You got to take the information that's in the story problem to solve. So they'll give you numbers, you estimate them, then you multiply that estimate, and you got to determine if yes, they do have enough, or no, they do not have enough, depending on what the question asks you. Okay? So first thing you're going to do, you're going to work on this page, page 45, and then you're going to work on page 46, which I'm going to show you next. I'm going to show you a few problems. Okay, page 46. On page 46, you're only going to do problem 1. 2 and 3 we're going to talk about at another time and go over that. You're only going to do problem 1. So problem 1 says, write each statement as an expression using grouping symbols. Remember, grouping symbols are these. Those are grouping symbols. Do not evaluate the expression. Key word, do not evaluate. That means do not solve the expression. All they want you to do is write your number sentence, and that's all you need to do. Do not write an answer. Okay? So the first one says, find the sum. So let's underline keywords. Sum, subtract. Okay? And we need to know these numbers. 13, 7, 5. Okay? And then you can go through all of that and do that. We need to multiply. We have a 3, 4, divide. Product is a keyword, 6. Okay? And you can keep going through all that. Underline and circle any keywords that will help you solve the problem. That will help you tremendously when working on pages. Okay? All right, so find the sum of 13 and 7. So first thing you need to think about, what does sum mean? Do I add? Do I subtract? Do I multiply? What does that mean? Okay? Sum is addition. All right, so let's use our numbers. So we have 13 plus 7 because it says find the sum of 13 and 7. So we're adding 13 plus 7. And then it says subtract 5. So we subtract 5. But one thing we're forgetting our grouping symbols. It asks you to put grouping symbols in there. So where do we put our grouping symbols? Okay, well, we're going to put them around the 13 plus 7 because it says find the sum of 13 and 7, then subtract 5. So we want to do the 13 plus 7 first. And we know that whatever has grouping symbols around it, we do first in the problem. Okay, so we have 13 plus 7 minus 5. That's how you do that one. All right, now it says multiply 3 and 4 and divide the product by 6. Okay, so let's look at that. First thing we need to do, we need to multiply. And then we're multiplying 3 and 4. So 3 times 4. Okay, and divide the product by 6. So then we're going to divide that product by 6, which means we have to do this first. If we're going to divide this by 6, we have to do it first. We put the grouping symbols around it. Okay, then we're going to divide that by 6. So we do 3 times 4, find that answer, divide that by 6. And if you notice, I didn't put any answers in here. All you're doing is writing your number sentences to make these true. Okay? So what I want you to do, on this page, do C, D, and E, and then stop on page 46. That is our lesson for today. We will do some more examples as whole class today so that we can get more practice with this.